Hey everybody, welcome on in. It is Elsid 932 on YouTube. Thank you for joining me. Come on in. We are here for more unsolicited advice. I hope you enjoyed the last live. I hope, I shouldn't hope you enjoyed the last live. You told me by hitting that like and hitting that subscribe button. A lot of y'all did, and I thank you very much in helping and doing your part to help the channel grow. So I would like to for you to say, just say hello. Just say hello in the chat. Don't be shy around here. We give unsolicited advice to the stories that are coming up. We are very nice to you in the chat over here, even if we don't agree with your unsolicited advice. Hey, Letitia, right on time. See, right on time. That's my thing is time. And, once it says go live, I hit that button. But again, things happen in life. I'm not saying I'm never going to be late, but I try to stick to a time. Thank you, Letitia. You are right on time. So, you know, for the, early bird catches the worm. So, how about we catch the first request for advice? Around here, the requests get a little bit spicier, a little bit more adult content as we go along. So let's start with the first one. Just say hello to everyone in the chat. Once you come in, say hello, 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 and let us get to the first one right away. First request for advice. Okay, it's about the girlfriend keeping his home office tidy. Okay. He says, my girlfriend is a 26-year-old female, keeps moving things in my home office to tidy it, and isn't listening when I, a 29-year-old male, tell her to stop. I work from home most of the time, and my girlfriend and I live together. We moved into a 3-bedroom flat, and the smallest room has been set up for my office. Before we moved in, we agreed the office would be my space, and I'd be the one responsible for cleaning and tidying it up. I do keep it clean. I dust and hoover regularly. But my desk can look a bit messy because I have work papers and notes spread out for meetings and stuff. It's nothing like mugs and plates or whatever, just work things. Lately, my girlfriend started going into the office, tidying up my desk, moving my papers around. I've asked her to stop because I leave things out in a specific way so I know where everything is. When she moves stuff, it throws me off completely. She said she doesn't like it to look messy and I should tidy it, but I told her she doesn't need to be in the office, so she wouldn't see the desk anyway. She said it's not the point. I should keep it tidier, but I reminded her that we agreed the office was mine to manage. She thinks I should be listening to her and tidying up to her standards, but I just told her again to stop touching my stuff. How would you handle it? How would you handle it that your significant other is constantly moving around the stuff for your work on your desk and you told them to stop? Don't do it. This is an agreement. They said that this is the home office and he will take care of it. But she is still ending up in that home office trying to tinker around and clean, and it ain't helping his workflow. Hate to go to Africa. Glad to have you here. So, how would you handle it? We agreed. We had an agreement before we moved in together. Don't touch my work stuff. Now, I'm kind of like the gentleman in this. I work with a lot of paper, lots of paper, and I have stacks and stacks, but I know where my stacks go. I know what the stacks mean. When they say organized chaos, that is me. I don't like a whole bunch of stickies. I used to. It used to be color coded stickies all around my monitor, but I knew, I went clockwise to handle stuff and the stickies disappeared. But I have gotten more efficient. I have, everything is in a list. So again, my pet peeve is that desk. Don't touch my desk. I will hand you what I need you to have. Don't touch my desk. And the home office, basically, she's causing more work friction for him. I think they should, as they agreed, leave it alone. I wonder if she's dusting just to snoop. That's what it's kind of telling me, that she is dusting, cleaning up, tidying up his home office, because that's the one area of the house she technically is told not to go to. Maybe she has some suspicions and she's like, well, let me see what these papers mean. Let me see if you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Okay? Okay? I'm thinking she's tidying up, not really to tidy up. I think she's tidying up to snoop and make sure that whatever he's doing in the home office, she can keep tabs on. But young lady, if you go snoop in the home office you're not supposed to be in because you're tidying up, okay? Hey Trey Mac, welcome on in. If you're tidying up and y'all agree that you're not to be in his home office, then you should be snooping around without a trace of you even having been there. I mean, do I have to teach you everything? If you're going to snoop in the home office where you're not going to be, and tidying up is rearranging his documents, his paperwork, you're creating more issues for his workday, you should be snooping around and looking and don't even move the chaos. He shouldn't even know you were there unless traces of your perfume were left in the air. Letitia says, me too. I know where everything is, and it eventually gets organized as I'm completing things, different tasks. I would be highly annoyed. I would be too. I would be too. And yes, it is organized confusion, organized chaos, however you want to call it. If this is my home office and you don't like how I'm stacking the papers on the desk, on the floor, things are stuck on the wall, close the door. Close the door. I mean, this ain't the church, close the door, but this is close the door. You don't have to look in there. You don't have to see in there. But she is probably snooping around to see what's going on behind that door. And that's fine. Peep, he just said don't tidy up his stuff. Don't touch his work items. He didn't say you can't completely not go into that room. He didn't say that. Get him comfortable with you being in there. Bring him a snack or something. Bring him an afternoon snack, something, and say, "Hey, hon," and then you peeping while you handed him the drink and the sandwich. Okay, okay. Don't if he asks you to just not touch his work items on the desk, leave it alone. Leave it alone, because that will be just as bad, y'all. That will be just as bad for me if you rearrange my spice cabinet. Oh Lord, we gonna have a problem. Oh no, no, no. No, 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 no. If you rearrange my spice cabinet, meaning what I'm used to being on this shelf is now on the other shelf or on the other side of the cabinet, I can't find my spices and put my hand on it. And worse yet, if my hand, is already seasoning stuff, and then I gotta go and things aren't where it is now. Oh, now I gotta go find anything. That is my pet peeve. Ooh, that is my pet peeve. Put everything back in the cupboards and the cabinet where you found it. So, young lady, I'm not saying the kitchen is your domain, but the office is his domain. And if, like me, the kitchen is your domain, you like things organized in a particular way, and you'd rather nobody handle it, move stuff around, make it untidy. Trey said, leave the plate at the end of the table by the door, love. Okay, the end table is not by the door. Okay, there is no end table. I gotta come all the way around. I gotta look at your screen while I'm handing you the plate and the drink. Okay, okay. You're lucky I didn't spill a little drink on you, so I could grab a napkin and pat it off. So I keep on looking around to see what you got on your desk. Good one, Trey. Good one. To go to Africa says it's like trying to cook in someone else's kitchen. Ooh, ooh, yeah. It's like when my mother comes to visit and she's trying to cook in my kitchen. It's not organized the way her kitchen is. And by the time she leaves, my kitchen is reorganized to the way she wants it. I have constantly had to call my mother and say, "Hey, mom, where did you put that item that I had before?" And she know where she put it, because in her mind is organized how she would like it. Because when mama comes to visit, the kitchen is hers. Trey Mac, I'm glad you're having a laugh, but I'm going to save you the time from getting up from the desk to go to the end table. I can bring the drink and the plate to you. Just trying to be helpful while I'm snooping. Just trying to be helpful. Now go. She shouldn't touch his paperwork. He said, "Don't touch the paperwork. Don't touch the paperwork." It's that easy. It's that simple. You're creating more work for him. It's almost like you got to put stuff in a box and leave the desk completely clear. Now, there's some people like that. I am just not. I have my stacks. I work through my stack, and it's done, it's gone, and maybe a new stack replaced it. That's how it is. So, y'all, let me know your unsolicited advice. Mine for her is leave it alone. Close the door. If you don't like how his desk looks in his home office, leave it alone. Close the door. Close the door. Don't go around there. Don't go in there, except periodically at all. Trimax says, oh, no, no, love. Let me be helpful and meet you at the door to receive the plate. Okay, okay. That's okay. I'll come pick up the glass and the plate when you're done. I'll keep on checking on you, making sure you're okay. Don't try it, Trimax. I've got an answer for each time you try to swerve me getting into that office. But y'all, what is your unsolicited advice? Leave it in the comments below. This one is a very mild one. It's like, just don't touch the stuff. He's organized. He's working hard. He's working hard at home. All he asks is that you don't touch his work stuff. And worse, if it's confidential, you could certainly get him into trouble if they know someone else has been handling that paperwork. Okay? Don't make him have to put a lock on it, because that will escalate things. Just don't go. Close the door. Close the door and stay out of the office. So, y'all, let's get to the next one. We get a little bit more heat in this kitchen. The next one is, ooh, wow. So this 19-year-old male was flashed today and says, is this a good idea to let my girlfriend, who's also 19, know? He said, to be honest, I have no idea whether it was an accident or not. There was a girl I was walking behind today in a skirt that, as it turns out, didn't have anything underneath. She bent over to pick up something, and I saw everything. I don't know why, but I feel like I should tell my girlfriend. Like I'd be keeping a secret if I didn't. But at the time, I felt like maybe it would make her jealous or uncomfortable. I just feel guilty, and I'm not quite sure what to say. Okay? Y'all, he's not sure if to tell his girlfriend that this young lady he was walking behind, he saw her entire behind. He said he saw everything. Now, we're going to take his word for it when he said everything. Okay? We're going to take his word for it that he saw everything. Now, young man, what I will say is that the young lady who's walking ahead of you, she's quite aware. She's aware of what she's wearing. Okay? She's aware of what she is not wearing underneath. So, you have seen the gates to the promised land. And she probably was wondering if you were going to come and flirt, what your reaction would be. I have seen some young ladies do this. Okay? They flash to see, hey, do you like what you see? Are you going to approach? That is not how I would advise any young lady. Okay? That's not how I advise any young lady getting a man's attention or a young man's attention. But again, as to go to Africa is saying, I cannot understand why he would feel guilty for her actions. Yeah, you didn't tell her to bend over, sir. You didn't, okay? You didn't. She did that willingly in front of you. Now, I think you are guilty of looking. You feel guilty about that. But again, how are you? It's on full display. Why would you feel guilty about that? You looked, it was displayed, you looked, you saw, but you didn't even conquer. You didn't get a phone number. You didn't get a hello. Did she look back at you and smirk? What I have questions about the rest of this interaction. Were you like a deer in headlights? You couldn't believe this happened to you? It's the first time it's happened to you? Young man, there's nothing to say. My unsolicited advice. Trey Max said, if she's putting pressure on you like that, I would advise you to tell your girlfriend what's going on. Dodge the pothole, sir. Not sure of a pothole. It's like, would you advise him to tell the girlfriend or not? He doesn't know this person. It is a young lady who is a stranger. He was just happened to be walking behind and showed him her behind and everything. Showed him the gates to her promised land. When he said everything, I think he saw everything. Okay? Everything down yonder. Okay? He could probably tell us, he could probably point it out in a lineup. He saw everything. It is not your fault that this young lady decided to bless you with, a preview. Bless you with seeing what she was working with. But you did the right thing of you didn't approach her, you didn't try to get her number, you didn't do all this other stuff. But again, you're feeling guilty about actions of another person. You're feeling guilty about the interaction, which wasn't really an interaction. It's like, okay, will you tell your girlfriend if was watching corn? Would you feel guilty about that? I'm trying to understand why we need to tell. But some people may feel that you do need to tell her about the interaction. You never know if you'll see this other young lady some other time and you'll be in a difficult position, or your girlfriend will be in a difficult position. To Go to Africa says she knew she didn't have any panties on when she bent over. Yes, she knew. There's no way that you're feeling the breeze down yonder and you don't know you're not wearing anything underneath. And we are not all of us, but many of us are taught, even if we are wearing undergarments, there's a way that you bend to pick something up when you're wearing a skirt or anything revealing. Now, did she forget? Did she forget what she was wearing? Did she not realize someone was walking up behind her? I don't know, but it's not, you didn't do anything other than look. You looked at, as I would say, you looked at the blessings that she had. I don't figure that there's anything you need to disclose. If you do feel guilty and you feel like you need to tell your girlfriend, then do so gently. Do so gently. But I don't know your girlfriend, but you said she may feel jealous, she may feel some kind of way about it, that you did get a sneak peek at someone else's nether regions. Trey Mack said, it sounds like she has done this more than once. You never want to be in a situation where this could possibly get back to your girl and you didn't mention it. It's just a bad look. So here is a gentleman in our comments that tell your girlfriend. It can turn out badly if all of a sudden y'all are in the same, college party, y'all are 19, you're in the same college party, and then all of a sudden your girlfriend encounters this girl and you have not said a thing, and now it's come up to bite you. To Go to Africa says she's probably an exhibitionist, like those who walk around wearing clothes that expose most of their tops, their T and A's. Okay, so yeah, there is. How can I say it? Yes, there are exhibitionists. There are people who are nudists in this world. They are certainly going to, find joy in displaying themselves. But in that instance, she's displaying herself, I'm guessing, on a public sidewalk. That's another thing. Where did this happen? Was it a sidewalk? Was it in a row at the school library where she clearly knew it was only you there and put on a show just for you? Where did this happen? Because where it happened also says a whole lot. Did she drop the item intentionally so she can bend to have to pick it up and you will be looking in her direction? I need to know where this happened. I need to know exactly where this happened, because it's looking like she saw you and she's trying to conquer. Like she's like, oh, if I give him a little preview, he'll leave his girl. I need to know where this happened. Because if it's only you around, then it was definitely a show just for you, and you need to tell your girl. Now, if it's just walking down the street and she bent and you saw, anybody else on the public sidewalk could have seen, I just let it go. I'd phrase it just like that. This girl, oh my God, you wouldn't believe. I'd phrase it like that. So your girlfriend wouldn't get jealous, wouldn't get heated about it. But I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand why someone would do this, because this is wild to me. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Unless it's like in the library shelves in the reference section where no one else is. Girl, this ain't even your boyfriend. Why are you putting yourself on display? Unless, as To Go to Africa says, maybe she's an exhibitionist. Maybe she likes to be seen. So what is your unsolicited advice for this young man? We do, as you see, I tell him, zip it, You ain't got to say nothing. But we do have in the comments, Trey Mack being one of them, that says, let your girlfriend know. Don't let this come up and bite you later on. Just let us know in the comments and let us get to the next story. Okay, this next story is about this young lady says my 22-year-old boyfriend, no, 23-year-old boyfriend, she is 22. Best girlfriend said that they slept together. My boyfriend's best friend, who is a girl, texted me saying that they slept together at the beginning of our relationship. She is begging me not to tell my boyfriend because she doesn't want her relationship to end with him. She said she wanted to let me know because I'm a nice girl and I deserved better. She also said she was upset at him. I told her I have to tell him, but she won't stop crying and is begging me. She said if I want to break up with him, I should make up a lie and not tell him about what she told me. What do you guys think? I have no clue what to do. Again, this is a 22-year-old female to the 23-year-old boyfriend. His best girlfriend came and told her that they slept together, but doesn't want the young lady to tell the boyfriend she told her. I have some thoughts about this. Hey, High Vibe, welcome on in. I have some thoughts about this. So his best friend is a young lady. Okay, I use young lady loosely. And she goes to the girlfriend and said, yeah, at the beginning of the relationship, we kind of were intimate. But don't tell him I told you. Just make up an excuse and leave him. That sounds like a setup to me. We don't even know if it's the truth, quite frankly, right now. Based on the best friend's behavior, I don't know if it's the truth. It's kind of sounding to me like she wants the girlfriend gone and wants the young man for herself. That's what it sounds like to me. I'm not sure what it sounds like to you. Okay? Okay? Yeah, Trey Max says she plotting hard. She ain't just plotting, she is putting the plot in effect. She has a mission and she is actually doing part of the mission. She is actually doing part of the mission. She's trying to break them up. But she's like, don't tell him nothing. Just, make up an excuse and go away. Go away. I do not like this at all. To go to Africa said, I would be concerned about her motives. Yes. She has terrible motives. I think her motive is to isolate the young man. Now I got to ask him, how many girlfriends have you lost? Like, disappeared. Nothing to say. Because it seems like this could be her MO. This could be the way that she behaves. He gets with a girl. We didn't even know how long this relationship has lasted. We didn't even know how long they've been together. I have questions. Okay? How long have y'all been together? How has she done this before? How many times has she done this before? Young man needs to understand basically the viper that he has around him. This is your best girlfriend? She probably the one whispering to him or telling him that his girl don't really love him, don't mean any good to him, and whispering different things, possibly to sour him to whatever young lady he's trying to date. I think she wants that young man for herself, and he has got her in the situationship zone. I say situationship because apparently if it is that they are intimate, then that's a big if. We don't know. She could be lying. She could be lying to get the girlfriend gone. But if that is his situation where, hey, when I'm in the early stage of the relationship and I ain't got none yet from the girl I'm dating, you will do, then that is a whole other class for him and for her. You need to figure out if this young lady is really, really telling the truth or not. If she is, it's diabolical. You need to get away from both of them. If she is not, then he truly needs to get rid of her as a friend. She is not helping at all. To go to Africa said, if she slept with him at the beginning of the relationship, why did she wait so long to tell her? She probably thought the relationship would fizzle. The best friend probably thought, oh, he ain't gonna stay with this one. She probably bides her time, as Trey Mack said before. She plotting hard. She bides her time and figure, oh, he'll go on a few dates and this girl ain't gonna last. And then when this girl lasted, and now she's the girlfriend, now I gotta put my plan in place and say, yeah, when y'all started dating and y'all before y'all were really intimate or anything, he was with me. He was with me. She's not saying he's currently with her. That's the other part why I think there may be a lack of truth here. She's not saying that he is with her currently. She's putting the whiff of something bad, that, oh, in the beginning of your relationship he was with me. So that also says he ain't with you now. So you could be lying about it completely. Because if you wanted to get rid of her, you could say y'all just did it a month ago, a week ago, and then she really gonna run for the hills. But she said, no, in the beginning of your relationship. But why don't you just break up with him and run along and don't tell him we had this conversation? Kind of like the A team. The secretary will disavow any knowledge of your actions. To Go to Africa said, why would she want him if he's with someone else? He apparently doesn't want her. We didn't say that, he wanted her. Very, very well indeed. He doesn't want her. He wants other people. If he is with her, she is a placeholder. And she's one that's, plotting hard, as Trey Mack says. But for whatever reason, if he is sleeping with her, she is just there to provide, how can I say it, a soft landing occasionally when he feels like it, scratch the itch when he feel he itching. But if they are not together, she is plotting hard and is probably saying, biding her time for when it's her turn. She probably is like, put me in, coach, I'm girlfriend material. And he probably has her fixed in the friend zone. Tremack said she couldn't lock him down herself and probably never will. She's semi-salty for real. Semi-salty, but I understand why he said semi-salty. If you go all the way to have a conversation with the new girl, you all the way salty. You all the way salty. He needs to understand the viper that is in his midst. I'm sorry. If he doesn't know that this is happening, and he's, and if he is an innocent party and she's just plotting, this is the wrong type of friend to have in your circle. And this, this makes it really bad for ladies like myself who are the female friend that would never do this, ever. Because you know what? I know where the bones are buried for my friends. I hold water for my friends. I know who my dogs are. That would never, ever, 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 ever happen. And now you're making it tainted that this girlfriend is now going to go into her next relationship. And if that man has a female, real solid female friend, she's going to look at that girl suspiciously. She's going to be like, is this another one? Is this another instance of him and his bestie girlfriend? They've been together? She's putting mud in the water for all of us who are really, truly platonic friends that are, that are really, really solid. I'm sorry. I really don't like this young lady, but my advice, talk to your boyfriend. Talk to the boyfriend. Ask him. He may, even if he says no, sometimes the way he says no, nothing happened, could be telling. Because if he's like, oh heck no, then you know exactly how he responds, tells you whether it happened or not. And you can then decide if you even broach the subject on, she said it, because he may not believe you. Or you have a conversation with her. We got technology. You record the conversation and you play it back for him and say, well, this is what your girl is saying. Your best friend, this is how she making. This is the move she's making. And you would see based on his reaction how and if this relationship between him and the best friend is happening. Tremack said it's semi-salty because she said it happened in the beginning and not recently to really make her break up with him. Plus, it could fully sour him to her. Right. We don't know. We need details. Was it a drunken incident? Not that it excuses it at all. But was it a one time? Was it even now? Did it even happen? Again, she is plotting, and I don't believe this best friend. I don't know why. I just don't believe that it actually happened. I mean, but then I need to know what your boyfriend looked like. Why would she be plotting? But it's not only about looks. I understand. I know what y'all are saying. She could have been plotting. She know this young man forever. Figure he's the best thing since sliced bread, and she wants him. She wants him. She wants him, and he keep looking at other people, and she gets close to him to just keep on sabotaging his relationships. So my thing is, ask him. Heck yeah, have a conversation with her again about it, and record her saying it. Record her asking and saying that they were together in the beginning of the relationship. Present it to him and see. Because as To Go to Africa said, she ain't his best friend and she ain't your best friend at all. So that's my unsolicited advice. We have others in the comments. So if you're watching this as well, please leave your unsolicited advice for this young lady. She is dealing with a lot with this young man and his best friend. Let's go on to the next topic at hand. The next topic is quite risque. These are for the people in the 30s. These are the people in the 30s. So my husband, 35-year-old male, was looking at unclothed pictures of my sister, 32-year-old female, and her friends. Please share your thoughts. I just found something out. I need to hear someone's thoughts besides my own. I am a 37-year-old female. Had to use my husband's PC. He knew I was going to use it, and I saw a few files listed in his recent files he recently opened. Long story short, those files were part of a backup my sister did on his external hard drive years ago when she was here visiting and had to reinstall her Windows. So we used his drive to back up her files. Those files were playful pictures of a trip where her and some friends went to a nude beach. I could tell it was just by the file path which, name of the beach was written there. These photos were really buried in the backup, which indicated he has accessed them before to be able to open them up only 2 days ago. Remember, the sister came last year to back up everything, years ago to back up everything. But 2 days ago, he opened up the file. Okay? Said some additional, my sister is not American. She does not live in the US. Where she lives, people are more free and open with their bodies. She struggles with wearing, a brassiere, sometimes because it's not so common over there. When she comes over, I sometimes have to ask her to change a top or something because of how revealing it is. I don't think she included those pics on the backup with bad intentions, but also no one remembered at the time to clear the backup from my husband's external hard drive. My husband and I have been married for 12 years, and I am pregnant with our second child. He never gave me any indication of being the cheating type. We share locations on our iPhone nonstop. We know each other's cell phone passwords, etc. He comes from a family with really good male role models and was raised to be a good man, if that makes any sense. Of all the defects he has, this kind has never been a concern before. Also, he's not the type of guy that makes moves. We talked about, struggles in our intimate lives before, mainly because we've been married for so long and are completely different people now from when we were when we first got together. I really don't know what to think. I feel so betrayed. I know people see nude pics online all the time of models. But the fact that he was looking at my sister and her friends, and that is likely not the first time, is making me sick. What are y'all thoughts? What are y'all thoughts? He has he has recently, up until 2 days ago, been looking at unclothed pictures of her sister and the sister's friends. Okay? To Go to Africa says, I honestly don't think it would bother me. I would probably look at my husband's brother's unclothed photos too. Girl, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. My husband has a ton of brothers, and no, I don't watch no parts of that. Mm-mm. That is something interesting. So years ago, the sister needed to back up her files, and they used his external hard drive to back it up. Okay, okay. The husband been looking at those photos up until 2 days ago, so he's been reoccurringly looking at this. Okay, he's been looking at this. I need to know what his reaction is. I need to see those photos for myself to see how risque it is. Because if they're at a nude beach, it's just on display. I mean, but I think the thing is, it's her sister. I think it's the familial relationship that's really eating at her. It's her sister. It's her sister's friends. She probably doesn't care if he looks at magazines with women who are on display because there's a feeling of separation. But this is my sister who would come by the house, who would stay with us. Again, it's a little too close for comfort for me. High Vibe said I'll probably peek at those pics for giggles. The what To Go to Africa said before, the husband's brother's unclothed pictures. Trey Max said he's not cheating, but he's definitely looking. Look, he shouldn't be looking at the pics, but y'all left them on his computer. What was he supposed to do? Just delete the pics yourself? Well, how about he delete the pics? I mean, we understand when your computer crashes and you have your life on the computer, all you want to do is make sure that everything moves over. You just want to make sure everything comes together. And when it happens, you're just so happy you forget that you got to go back and delete it from the hard drive you used in the transfer. Now, that ain't me. That ain't me. We gonna have to destroy that hard drive. Or I'm gonna have to buy my own external hard drive and we use your computer, but it goes onto my hard drive and then back onto my computer. Tremax said, what's he gonna do? Fuss at you for deleting pics he ain't supposed to be seeing? Well, this comes back. That's why I did. Sometimes our stories are connected. I wonder if this is why that young lady from the previous story today was trying to tidy up the home office of her boyfriend. Okay? Tidy up the office. This young lady, what Trey Mack is telling you, young lady, is tidy up those files. Trey Mack says, I guarantee he won't bring it up. Yeah, he won't bring it up at all. But we don't know if he has it saved on the cloud, though. We don't know if that's the only copy he has. So is it only on the hard drive? Has he backed it up to his Google storage? I mean, we don't know if she does delete it on the computer. It may be just what's on the computer. We don't know if there are pictures on the phone. We just don't know. Yeah, he won't bring it up because he may have another copy. Chick-fil-A, everyone made it in from that Texas heat and humidity. Replay Avalos. Hey, Chick-fil-A gal, glad to have you here. Yep, it's hot here where I am. It is 80 degrees right now, but it is definitely humid. To Go to Africa said, if her friends are not shy about not wearing clothes, he should have the opportunity to see them in person at the nude beach. Hey, that's another thing. Would she go? Would she go? Would the wife go with him to the beach? But remember, the wife says she is also currently pregnant. So I wonder if she's feeling unattractive at this time. Sometimes some ladies, when they are, with child, they sometimes think like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm a beach ball. We go in with the whole beach connotation. I feel like a beach ball. So of course she's seeing, these lovely young ladies who are unclothed at a nude beach, and my husband is watching the pictures. But the thing is, it's her sister's nude photos. It's the sister's friends' nude photos. For me, it's a little too close to home for him to be constantly going back to these photos up to 2 days before. Trey Max said, if it's in the cloud, well, you're SOL. Hey, Shay B, welcome on in. Thanks for coming by. We're talking about a husband here who kept the backup of his wife's sister and the sister's friends' photos that they had from a nude beach. Is he wrong for keeping and apparently looking at them recently as 2 days ago. Okay? 2 days ago. Hey, Jay Blake, welcome on in. Yep, you can pull it back. It's this one. We have one other story, and you can definitely pull it back and see the others. Chick-fil-A get outside dance, too close for comfort. Yeah, especially since the sister comes and visit and stay at the house. Still too close. Why is he still checking on it? Trey Max said the wife is not going. She's the prude of the siblings, which maybe is not helping the marriage 12 years in. Now, it's 12 years in. It could be that, 12 years in, it could be that you just used to it. Okay? You just used to it. And as you said, the sister may be more open and free. As she said, the sister is not from America. She's from a country where being nude on the beach is nothing. Just like the young lady we talked about before, the young lady who bent over and the young man said he saw everything. We don't know what kind of poses are in these photos on this nude beach that the sister had with friends. Tanya B here. Thank you for being here. She said it's mad disrespectful. Mad disrespectful. You're looking at unclothed photos of this woman's sister while she's sitting here pregnant with your second child, 12 years into the marriage. Disrespectful. I agree with Tanya B here. I think it's disrespectful. I agree with Trey Mack. Delete the photos. Delete the photos. You know you're going to use the computer. You just accidentally deleted some stuff. You don't know what was deleted. Don't only delete those photos, ma'am. Okay? You got to delete some other stuff. Okay? Not just those. You got to delete a whole bunch of other stuff so it doesn't seem like you only went to delete those photos. But then I ain't really telling you what to do. This is just unsolicited advice. You could take it or you can leave it. But I'm going to say delete a whole bunch of stuff that ain't really important, a whole bunch of photos, and be like, oh, all the old things happen. You know how sometimes it clears out your whole, it's like, oh, you want to delete old stuff? Delete everything just right before those photos and all the photos after, and just get rid of it. But if it's on the cloud, you're out of luck. If it's on the cloud, you just go re-download it and keep on looking at the photos. You got to figure out a way if you wish to discuss this with your husband before the next time your sister comes to visit. Because it's the sister and her friends. Because he's just looking. And is he just looking? That's my thing. Is he just looking? How long is he looking at the photos? When he pulls it up, is he engaging in any self activity? Okay. We don't know if it's on the cloud, Chick-fil-A gal. We don't know if it's on the cloud. I'm just saying it's on the hard drive. But if he backed it up on the cloud, if it's backed up in his Google Cloud, his iCloud, then he could just re-download it. We don't know if he got it in a vault somewhere else. We don't know. He knew she was going to use his computer. She just happened to look and see what his recent, shenanigans were, his recent files, and she sees that the recent files were pictures of her sister and sister's friends at a nude beach. What you could do is have photos of your own and replace it, have it named the same thing as your sister's, and when he opens it, he sees yours instead. I mean, that's diabolical. That takes a lot of planning, but if you want to, you could replace the photo there, rename your photo, so when he clicks on it, it's your photo. It's resaved. Save over. Do you wish to save over the old photo? And you click yes. But that's just diabolical. I'm just saying, hey. If you want to go down that path, that's a very dark path, but it's really funny. Trey Max said, it's mad disrespectful to load nude photos on my computer and expect me not to discover them. I'm not being managed, though. It's not right for him to look. Hey, he just wants to verify that the photo that he is maybe future deleting is the right photo. So maybe that's why he had to take a look. You have to look at files before you delete them. Isn't that right, Trey Mac? But it's been years. He ain't cleared those photos up at all. Okay? Chick-fil-A gal, if it is, and he reloaded it, frying pan to the dome. See, Chick-fil-A gal, you're like, you bring in the kitchen and we're in the home office. He gonna see the frying pan because you're coming into the home office with it. No. I would be diabolical. I would change the photo and put mine in there. She knew it was a risk to put them on the computer. You can always recover documents. Yes, you can. They said it was years ago. Shay B said he's a creep. He is a creep. And Tanya B here is agreeing that the frying pan needs to make its way into the home office. Well, my unsolicited advice, I said, if you want to go down, take it way, way further, you can delete it. But if you want to go down way, way further, replace her photos with yours. Replace her photos with yours. How about that? Replace her photo so when he clicks on it, maybe 2 days later, we don't know the frequency in which he opening these photos, these nude photos of your sister and your sister's friends. We don't know how frequently he's opening it. Replace them with yours. Save over them with the same name. And that way the cloud will update. So even if he had it on the cloud or anywhere else, if he tried to update the files and back it up, it will only have your photo and your sister's will not be there. Hey, Felisa H, glad to have you tapping in. Glad to have you tapping in. A whole, yeah, y'all, we don't promote violence over here, but if you wish to bring kitchen utensils into the home office, just make sure since it doesn't belong there, it probably will be noticed, okay? Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. But I just say diabolical me would be replacing those photos with my own, or with somebody's, with somebody's grandma or somebody unattractive, or post replace the photos with male anatomy, replace it with male anatomy, so when he opens it he'll get a shock of his lifetime, and you would know when he opens it because his whole attitude gonna change. Okay, whole attitude gonna change. So y'all, let's get to the last one. We get a little spicy when we get to the last one. We get a tad bit spicy when we get to the last one. And it's a long one, but I will certainly paraphrase and it will be on the screen for anyone who wants to read it. Whew, okay, this one, we got the men are coming with some real concerns here. Okay? He says, my 22-year-old girlfriend, okay, isn't listening when I tell her she's being rough in bed. 22-year-old girlfriend. This person is 30 and the girlfriend is 22. Okay, so literally just the title. Me, I'm 22, and the 30-year-old boyfriend has been together for about a year. Our relationship is pretty good. It's really only one problem I have. Just how rough she is. Well, it's not the fact that she's rough. She's into some, and we're not shaming anyone, she's into some different stuff. So so it was amazing at first. It's the fact that she's not listening when I tell her that she's being too rough. Over the last 3 weeks, she's been taking things a bit too far. She keeps doing things that we have not discussed. I never mentioned being into those things before. She never mentioned wanting to try them. When I tell her that I didn't like it and she's being too rough, she tells me she didn't mean to and didn't realize it would hurt me or made me feel uncomfortable. But then she would do it again. I keep bringing it up and it's always the same. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. I didn't realize. But she is not changing. She keeps doing the things I'm telling her not to, and it's starting to hurt. I'm getting bruises from her pushing me, okay? And it's starting to not feel enjoyable anymore. She's not telling me how rough she wishes to get. She's just saying she doesn't mean to do it. Just like you don't mean to do certain things, like it was accidentally, okay? So let me know, what do I do? At this point, I'm thinking of breaking up. Would that be too far? Okay, y'all. Yep, it is a little spicy. It is a little spicy. It seems like her and Uncle Shay Shay like the same things. Seems so, Felicia H. It seems so. This person is saying, how do I tell her? It's a little, we're going a little too far. See, this tells me these are both people, okay? Both people don't know what they're doing. And you got to listen to your partner. That's the one thing you got to do, especially when they're in a vulnerable position. Listen to them. It will no longer be enjoyable if they are in pain. Again, this person doesn't seem to like that. It also seems like they have not discussed, they do not have remedies, because if you are in this world of BDSM, if you're in this world, there's certain things to do. There's certain responsibilities both parties have. And again, it seems like stop ain't really a safe word that person is listening to. High Vibe says break up before you catch a case. It means break up before you become a case. Because if this person is being too rough, you might be the case somebody's investigating. Because she clearly ain't listening. Clearly not listening. And that is a dangerous position to be in. It seems like it's not a loved one anymore. Because if they loved you, they would actually listen to you, and they would what? They would change the behavior that is actually hurting you. Okay? To go to Africa said if she does not respect his boundaries and is insensitive to his feelings, they aren't compatible. They need to separate. Yes, that is correct. They need to separate. Succinctly said, they need to separate. Don't put yourself in that vulnerable position, because this person clearly is not keeping you safe. Trey Mack said, oh no, this is a problem boiling to the top. She definitely on a power trip. We're trying to dominate him in the boudoir and doing it successfully because he's allowing it. Walk away, sir. Sir, as soon as you get untied, you better run. You better run. Chick-fil-A gal said they are not sexually compatible. It is disrespectful. If of your wishes, break up now. Now. Jay Blake says yes, now. Felicia said she don't care about his feeling. She wants what she wants. She wants it when she wants it, how she wants it, and he is just a tool to be used. That's what it sounded like. That's what it sounded like. Run, Forrest, run. Run away, Forrest, okay? Keep on running. Because this young lady does not have your best interest at heart. You are not safe. Even folks who do like this sort of, pleasure, it is pleasing to both parties. And if it is no longer pleasing to you and she doesn't want to listen, it can be difficult. And as you said, you showing up with bruises now that you cannot explain. What if your friends see it and now they're concerned? Because you're clearly uncomfortable. If y'all have not discussed it, she shouldn't be doing it. She shouldn't be doing it. And you should not allow it. Meaning once it gets to a point where you are uncomfortable, you need to be very firm in your boundary. This ain't what's happening. This ain't what's going. So my unsolicited advice, as with most people here, is run. Run away. Please run away. Okay? To go to Africa, she needs to hook up with Marvin from Ready to Love. Is it Miami? I thought Marvin was in Texas. Marvin teaches classes in this lifestyle. And okay, whether he wants to be a part of it or not, they need education. They need a lot of education. And she needs to listen. Because if he's saying, it's too much, it's too much. She'll eventually cheat with someone who's that also. So it's a big nope for me. Yep. She got that man out here lying about his bruises. Exactly. And that is also something why I brought this up. We're so used to hearing the ladies lying about, how they are hurt or whatever. And I thought it was very interesting that now we see a man out here who is, suffering in silence, or not complete silence, but suffering in the bedroom. And he's like, now he got to be lying about bruises. And some people may see him and say, oh, well, I wish I had somebody like that, and not understanding how sensitive this is. She sounds like Listerine from the movie Booty Call. And he ain't buns. Get out, sir. Y'all know the movie? Y'all would understand why they call him buns. She also run over him emotionally and financially, yes. Once he continues to take this type of behavior, definitely she will escalate. And she is just not changing. And he's staying. So it's telling her, she's probably thinking, yeah, you're saying no, but you really don't mean it because you still allow me to do it. To Go to Africa says, you're right. I think it could have been Dallas. Yeah, I think it was either Dallas or Houston. I know it was Texas. Tanya B here said, Trey Mack, I love that movie. Yup, booty call. So, sir, this is your girlfriend. I'm sure y'all profess to love each other. Okay, love each other down. This is not helping you. This is not bringing y'all closer. This is not creating, true intimacy, at least on your part. I don't know for her, but definitely both of you need education. Y'all need to see if this is the lifestyle in which you wish to continue. If she wants to continue this lifestyle and this ain't for you, just break up. You are now hiding your bruises from the public, from your friends, from your family. And that is not healthy at all. At all. It is, you know, the fact that you are not enjoying this means y'all need to stop. The fact she's not listening to you, y'all need to stop. Because before, as we said before, you become the case. You become the case that somebody's investigating. Or she becomes the case because, when people start taking, sometimes they lash out. But I think she wishes to explore this. And I think y'all need education. There's nothing wrong with exploring. But again, both of you got to want to explore. Or, sir, also change it up. Change it up. How about you be the one that is all twisted and nuts this evening? But you got to do it when you're in a good frame of mind so that you can actually be for good and show her how good it could possibly be. And this is how you wish to feel. Don't turn it around on her in order to get your lick back. That is not going to work at all. At all, at all, at all. So I think y'all need education. Y'all certainly can decide whether this is the lifestyle you wish to live. And if not, you need to go. Because she ain't listening. All she's listening to is what she wants, what she needs, and nothing about you. Do y'all have any other unsolicited advice for this young man? Any unsolicited advice? Because for me, it's like you are 30 something. You are 30. Okay? You're 30. You should already know, whether you wish to explore. And maybe you wish to explore with someone who is safe to do so. She doesn't seem to be safe to do this type of exploring with. Trebek said, talking about, I walked into the door yesterday, bruh, hard side eye. Blink twice for help, buddy. Blink twice. Let your buddies know. Let your buddies know. To Go to Africa, most people don't enjoy pain. If she's misogynistic, enjoys it, she should find someone who enjoys the pain. Yes, she should. You got to find the yin to your yang in all things. You got to find balance. You got to find, I see your correction. You got to find someone who does compliment you and does enjoy what you wish to enjoy, and y'all could build a wonderful life. And it could be a lack of education, why she's introducing it to him in such a way that she is not being safe with him. Because for her to be the dominant person, there is such responsibility for the person who is being, in that vulnerable position. And if she's not being safe, then, we don't know how she'll end up with another partner. Being unsafe can really hurt both people, and it can change them, forever. So my thing is, figure it out. Is that the lifestyle? Get proper education. As someone say, look up Marvin from from Ready to Love, Texas. He and his partner put on workshops. They do training. He has written books. You could totally take the education, figure out if this is what you want. And if this is not, then you got to go, because she ain't listening. She ain't listening to you. And you're the one in a vulnerable position. Y'all, please put down in the comments, what is your unsolicited advice for this couple? That was my last couple for the day. And I hope you will join me, because there's a lot of people out here asking for some unsolicited advice. And we are here to certainly give them the advice that we see, think, hear, and the questions we may have. So please make sure you hit that like, make sure you are subscribed and you're helping the channel grow, and make sure that you hit that notification bell, because when the light comes on, when we start and we go live, we all want to provide our unsolicited advice. Thank you all for being here, and I will see you on the next one.